Tonight on TLC, their popular reality show 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way airs with an all-new Monday, September 8th, 2025 episode, and we have your 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way recap below for you. On tonight's 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 7 Episode 1 called C'est la vie. As per the TLC synopsis, Chloe trades Boston luxury for Johnny's pirate life in Aruba. Manon risks it all returning to France for Anthony. Luke heads to Colombia to wed Madeleine. Also, Jenny and Sumit face a new challenge living under his parents' roof. So, make sure to tune in tonight between 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time for our 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way recap. While you wait for our recap, make sure to check out all our television spoilers, news, recaps, and more here. Tonight's 90 Day Fiancé. The Other Way recap begins now. Refresh page often to get the most current updates. Chloe is an American. She's 23 years old. She lives in Massachusetts. She was moving out of the country to be with a man she fell in love with, but everyone thinks she's crazy for Chloe had everything going for her in the States. She was giving that up for Jonathan. Jonathan was 32 and lives in Aruba. He was an entertainer on a pirate party boat. His job was how they met. She went down there on a trip with her friends, and they did a day excursion on the ship. Her first impression wasn't the greatest. She thought he was cocky at first. Jonathan, known affectionately as Johnny, won her over later on. They dated long distance for 11 months. They were ready to commit, and so Chloe was moving to Aruba. None of her loved ones were happy about it. Her mom worked hard to provide Chloe with a lot of opportunities. She got a college degree. She's got a job. She was throwing that away to potentially work on a pirate ship with her boyfriend in Aruba. Her mom knew that life was going to be hard for her. Something she didn't want for her princess. Princess wasn't an insult, by the way. It's how even Chloe describes herself. She was in cheerleading and beauty pageants. She was used to a great quality of life. She was giving that up to wing in a foreign country. Her mom didn't think it would work. Her friends didn't think it would work. Her friend was actually married to someone that grew up with Johnny. She therefore knew that he was a player. He wasn't the type of guy to settle down, and here was Chloe doing more than that. She was giving up everything for him. Chloe doesn't see that because she was betting everything on love. The same goes for Manon. Manon was from France, and she's lived in the United States for years. She was married to an American named Anthony. They lived in LA. They've been married for 3 years, and they just had a baby. Her husband was a stay-at-home dad. They were an attraction of opposites. She was outgoing and he was shy. She was on the thicker side, and he was on skinny. Well, something must have been said about her spending all her time at work, because now Manon was moving back to France with her family. Manon said she was doing it to spend quality time with her son. She can offer him a better quality of life there. She was going to stay home, and her husband was going to work over there. Manon loves France. She just hated growing up there. She was bullied relentless for being plus size. The bullying didn't stop at school. Her family comes down on her for her weight as well. They still do, and she's 32. Manon didn't want to go back to that or live with that. She also wouldn't have her friends when she goes back. She wouldn't have her career. And their quality of life couldn't be too bad in the States if Anthony at 33 can afford to stay home with their son, Benjamin. It was hard to make sacrifices when life was pretty good. Take Jenny and Sumit. They were happy. They loved living in India together. Jenny was an American, and she was older than her husband. They've been together for 15 years. They were happy, and unfortunately, they've had some money trouble since then. They now have to move in with his parents. The good news is that his parents finally accept their relationship. They hated the two of them being together at first. They were so set against it that they arranged a marriage for Sumit. Sumit didn't tell Jenny about the marriage. She didn't find out until after she moved to India and found out he couldn't marry her because he was already married. Sumit told her he'd get a divorce. He actually followed through on that one. He got a divorce from his first wife, and he and Jenny got engaged. Then his parents became the issue. They refused to give their approval, and so the couple got married in secret. Sumit got thrown out of the family because of it. And now things are good. His parents have accepted that Sumit loves Jenny. Only they might be a problem when it comes to living with them. Jenny and Sumit have lived a great life by themselves. They had a great apartment too before Sumit lost his job. Sumit doesn't want to live off his wife while he finds new employment. Moving in with his parents will ensure they don't have to pay rent and give Sumit the grace he needs to get back on his feet. It might reopen wounds between Jenny and her mother-in-law because Sumit's mom hated they were about the same age for the longest time. Best of luck to them. Most people didn't think they'd last, and they did. Most people don't think Madeleine and Luke will last either, and they might surprise people. Madeleine was 20 years old. She was from Colombia. She's a beauty queen, and her American fiancé was moving to Colombia to be with her. Luke was 31. He met Madeleine on a boys' trip. They went to Colombia because they heard of the beautiful women there. They all signed up for dating apps once they got there, and he met Madeleine on day one of the trip. It's been 2 years since then. The couple has dated long distance. They got engaged. They were getting married now, and it was going to be hard for them. Madeleine was used to a way of life, one that Luke currently can't afford. Luke was in debt. He stayed in the States for 2 years because his job has been the only income coming in. He used his savings to invest in a couple of companies, and those companies haven't turned a profit. They might eventually. Luke believes they will. He wants to wait until his situation clears up, or at least until he was out of debt, which was a problem. Madeleine didn't want to wait anymore. She was young. She was impatient. She wanted them to start their lives now, and she didn't want to hear Luke's reasoning anymore. She told him to move to Colombia now or else. Luke feared that or else was breaking up. He literally got a tattoo of her name right near his privates after 3 months, and that meant he was in it for the long haul. He quit his job. He was selling his house. He was prepared to finally move to Colombia where he has no idea how to afford his upcoming wedding. Now, back to Manon. Manon and